I've changed the title of our notebook to Mathematica Tutorial and added some subsections. Last time in part 1 we added two numbers and we plotted a sine function. In part 2 we created an inline math cell and entered an equation. Next we used a math cell that aligns an equal sign to solve an equation. Now we'll do more typesetting in part 3. So I'll typeset the fraction x to the power 3x plus 1 divided by x squared minus 2. To do that, I will move to the next line and use an inline math cell. So I'll go to my writing assistant, choose math cells, choose the first type. A little blue square appears. I'm going to be creating a fraction. So I'll go back to my writing assistant palette and select from the typesetting area the icon that represents a fraction. So I'll start typing the numerator, but the numerator involves x to a power, so I'll select the icon that represents a superscript. So I'll type the letter x, tab to get to the superscript, and I'll type 3/2. Use the right arrow key to move out of the superscript and type +1, and then tab to go to the denominator. And again, we have an exponent, so I'll click on the first icon and I'll type x. I'll tab to go to the exponent and type 2. Use the right arrow key to move out of the exponent and type -2. To get out of the fraction, I'll use the right arrow key and keep moving until the tan area becomes white. Next, let's look at examining how we would plot two functions on the same coordinate system. Okay? We want to plot y equals 3 times the log of x in the base 10 and 3 times the log of x minus 1 in the base 10. The command to do this is the plot command. Remember, commands start with capital letters. So plot, left square bracket, and in curly braces we put 3 log left square bracket 10 comma x right square bracket. The 10 indicates that we'll take a log to the base 10. Similarly, we enter 3 times the log of x minus 1 to the base 10. And we put these two functions separated by a comma inside of curly braces. And then after another comma, we indicate the range we wish to graph the function for. So we're going to graph it for x, or x ranges from -3 to 13. Of course, log x base 10 will not be drawn until x is greater than 0, and log x minus 1 base 10 won't be drawn until x is greater than 1. Pressing Shift Enter, we get the two graphs here. The blue curve is 3 times the log of x in the base 10, and the red curve is 3 times the log of x minus 1 to the base 10. Now, if we wanted to make this a little bit more illustrative, we could add a few more commands. First, I want to draw the asymptote line, which is basically the vertical line going through x equals 1. So the command to do that is graphics. So I'll do graphics, left square bracket, in curly braces, black comma dashed, which is I'm going to draw a dashed black line, and the command to do that is line, and the line is going to go from 1 comma -3 to 1 comma 3. And I'll label this line B, and I'll create a plot, which I'll label C using the same command as I did before, but I'll add a few more things. I'll control the plot range, that is the y variable will only range between -3.2 and 3.2, and I'll add a plot style saying that the first curve is in black, and the second curve is red dashed, and I'll add an epilogue, which will basically let me plot some points along the curves. After pressing Shift Enter, I get this graph. Now, to show both graphs together, that is the vertical asymptote together with the graph, I will type show C comma B. Then, using the drawing tools, which we gotten by pressing Control T, I'm able to insert arrows and label the arrows. We'll try this in a little bit more detail in the next tutorial.